Good morning, dear colleagues. We start our work at Ukrainian Crisis Media Center, and I give the floor to the Ministry of Defense spokesperson, Maksym Prauta. He will be talking about the activities of the ministry over the past 4 days. Welcome. Good morning, dear guests. I'm glad to see you at our press conference. Here is short information about activities of the Ministry of Defense and the Armed Forces of Ukraine. To implement the roadmap of reforms, the Ministry of Defense continues to create new regulatory documents for reforms. Within this work, this year the Ministry has already adopted 26 regulatory documents. They are aimed to improve combat capacities of the armed forces of Ukraine and improve defense capacity of the state. These documents were developed by the Ministry. All these initiatives are developed together with the representatives of the Volunteers Council and representatives of the Project Office of Reforms of the Ministry of Defense. At present, there are 22 draft regulatory documents on reforms in defense sector passed for consideration to the Presidential Administration of Ukraine, to Verkhovna Rada, to the Secretariat of the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine. Among these, there is law on amendments to several laws on Ukraine on military ranks of the servicemen, according to which new ranks will be introduced for sergeants in the armed forces, and this law will also increase their role in education, training of the servicemen, and in performing missions. This is also draft law on preparation to conscription and conscription. According to this law, there will be several amendments to laws on planning in defense sector, on ensuring basic needs for civil population during the special period in the case of armed conflict, on a mandate of the authorities during the special period, on possible delays for citizens liable to conscription, and in the Lviv region, in the training center of the National Academy of Ground Forces, one more group of surgeons finished their training course as future instructors. They were trained by professionals from the Armed Forces of Latvia. During their training, they focused particular attention on methods of attacks by fire and maneuvers on the field. Several courses were conducted even by the students themselves. Latvian instructors said that Ukrainian students have very good potential and good basic knowledge. This is already the 5th course of basic training of instructors for among surgeons, and for the first time one woman soldier participated there and completed the training. With the aim to accommodate soldiers and ensure training for them, the ministry is going to start construction of a new camp town according to the decision of the Ministry of Defense and the General Staff. It will be constructed in Shiroki land training field it will be constructed in Mykolaiivka, in Mikhailivka village in Mykolaiv region. The cost of construction is 353 million hryvnias. This amount is included into the plan of the Ministry of Defense on reconstruction and construction of new objects in 2017. According to the plan, the works will be over by the end of this year. The recommendations provided by internal auditors and as a result of preliminary monitoring of risk operations since the start of 2017, the ministry avoided losses on the amount of nearly 57.5 million hryvnias. In particular, the audit helped to reduce cost of reparation of equipment, of other works and services, and reconstruction of military objects, defense objects. And since the start of this year, the auditors provided more than 260 recommendations on improving management of financial and other resources. At present, operational audits and preliminary monitoring of risks operations in the Ministry of Defense encompass 260 packages of documents on the amount of over 2 billion hryvnia, including a yearly procurement plan of the Ministry of Defense. Since the start of this year, the representatives of the Service of Internal Audit participated in 6 training educational events as trainers or trainees. Over the last days, 22 representatives of the Service of Internal Audit received certificates after having completed a course for internal auditors, which took place in the National Defense University with the support of the Great Britain. Over the last week, military engineers have cleared more than 6 hectares of land in the east of Ukraine. They defused 954 explosive devices. Since the start of the conflict, the military engineers of the armed forces defused more than 147,000 mines and explosive devices. They cleared more than 2,865 hectares of land in the Donetsk and Lugansk regions. The officers of the United Center of Civil-Military Cooperation from Tactical Group Lugansk ensured delivery to the 59th Mobile Military Hospital, delivery of humanitarian aid, which was collected by volunteers from Lviv. There is medical equipment, antiviral drugs, and other. In addition, doctors of the hospital received materials from the Red Cross on providing emergency help in field conditions. And the final information: today at 12 o'clock there will be a press conference in the Ministry of Defense. This will be a press conference on the activities of military law enforcement service in the armed forces and its reform. You can find more information on our website. This is all information for today. Thank you. If you have more questions, this is the